Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night OWCP Chats.
Hey.
I'm Gini, this is Chris.
Yeah.
We educate federal employees nationwide, all agencies and all unions. Yeah.
All federal employees.
Yes. All right, so don't forget, we are going to be giving away a $200 gift card to a share winner that shares the most at the end of the month. You guys, I think, have 2 weeks or a week left to share all the videos. I will be going through next week, and we will go ahead and announce the share winner on our following live in February. Because next week we won't be on, as we are traveling to Texas and Las Vegas to meet some doctors and go to clinics and everything.
A little work and a lot of fun.
It's not any fun.
There will be tons of it. If you know me, you know that I love Las Vegas. More than like 100 of you combined. That's how much I love it. So I'll find some time to have some fun there as well.
So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing to a few pages myself. Yeah. So when I'm not talking and I'm looking down on my phone, that's what I'm doing. But go ahead right now and start to share. Yeah. When you guys share, don't forget to put, when you're sharing it on the post, what topic we're talking about. And we're talking about the famous supervisors and management this week.
Yep. Otherwise known as the Woodshed edition of Wednesday Night OWCP Chats.
Or as Mr. Ray last week said, stupid visors.
No. We didn't say that.
We didn't say it. I said who said it.
You guys say that all the time, but we didn't say it. Hi, Jerry.
Hello. Is there any doctors in Georgia yet? No. Okay, so let me get this out of the way.
Let's talk about what's
we are coming.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
Mr. Ray laughed at because I said stupid visors.
Yeah. So you can see some of our website for the franchise, joinficfranchise.com. This is for the doctors, and that's one of the ways they're finding us. But they are finding us. We're in a chiropractic journal every month, so we've got a full page ad in there. And we're in... Anyways, we have another lead generation thing that's targeting doctors. And it's working because over the last couple of weeks, we took the contacting of new doctors away from the guy that was doing it and gave it to that one right there. Because she's better at it, and what we found out is not even close, like night, day, whatever. She's so much better at it. So I've gotten, more than a dozen doctors on the phone in the last couple of weeks, but the last few months prior to that, I got 0 from these lead generation campaigns. So we're spending all this money and getting nothing in return, but now that's turning around. So we've got a doctor that recently signed up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Dr. Henry. So he just signed up yesterday. We're really excited to have him. He'll begin the training right away and the credentialing so that he can be helping you on the east coast of Florida. And then we've got a group of offices that are going to be coming online in the next week or two and begin their training credentialing. And they are located in Henderson County, Nevada, which is Las Vegas, and the surrounding areas, and then one in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So there will be, in the next couple of weeks, 5 new offices at least coming on. We're really happy about that.
Yeah, we are.
We recently brought on Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is a large city in Tennessee, and you guys aren't going and getting the help. So don't forget to tell your friends that there's an office in Memphis, Tennessee, so that you can get the help. We also opened up in Oak Cliff, which is a South Dallas location. I said this earlier. I posted it. It's a really nice location. It's got great parking. For South Dallas, it's like, this is really a good place, and
it's a nice office.
They've got some development planned for the area. I think it's going to be really beautiful. But the office is great. It's on the 12th floor of the Bank of America building, easily accessible. So check that out. You can go to our website, federalinjurycenters.com, to see the office locations and the office phone numbers. So check that out. If you're on our app, the Federal Injury Centers app, we're working on updating that to add the new offices. That's one thing I didn't plan ahead for it.
Yeah, that's my fault. I wanted the app so bad, I got it, and now I have to stay on top of it.
So you got to learn how to use it.
Yeah. So I have to learn to use the back end of it, and it's not that easy. So be patient. If you don't see a doctor there that we tell you, just give us a call. We'll help you.
Yeah. So talking about offices, we're also in McKinney, Texas. That office is well trained. They just hired a new nurse practitioner. They got a medical doctor and Dr. Clark, the chiropractor, does all the therapy, and they're growing, so they'll be expanding and adding new licensed doctors as well shortly, because you guys have figured out that there's a McKinney, Texas office, and you're going. So tell your friends about that office as well, and if you're in the North Texas area, just know that there's a Federal Injury Center's location in South Dallas and north of Dallas in McKinney, Texas.
Okay, so again, don't forget, because there's more of you hopping on, we are giving away a $200 gift card to wherever you want or whatever you want. If it's just a regular Visa gift card, we're going to give it away. If we continue to see that you guys are sharing our videos and our posts that I post or Chris posts or any one of us, we're going to be increasing money. We're going to be increasing really nice prizes, a TV, a giveaway, a TV, more money. So make sure you guys are sharing. So share. And don't forget, if you're on here, please like and follow the page so you can see when I post things and the things that I share. So you can take it off of our Wednesday night chats page or our personal page and share away. So tonight, get your papers and pens or pencils ready. We're going to be discussing supervisors and management. And what I posted, I said, we're going to discuss how you can help your supervisor or management help you with your paperwork, about what to file and how to file it. And don't forget, it's also, these things are also in the book. And a number one thing for you guys to get is a CA-10. When your supervisors are refusing to help you, show them the CA-10. I mean, we can't get any more, what's the word? Not legal, but we can't be any more right with showing them a CA-10.
Any more right?
Yeah.
I could be a lot more right. I'm as right as it gets.
Okay, you go, because I got to share.
Yeah.
I'm sharing too.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about, I like how she put it, to show the supervisors how to help you. That's a really good way to put it, because what I don't want you to do is feel like you're going into a situation where you're having to, argue, fight.
Exactly.
A
We don't want
combative
that.
situation. We don't want that. So, this is not just shameless plugs. These exist, and so you need to know about it. You see my shirt, Breaking OWCP. That's because I wrote 2 books on the topic called Breaking OWCP. This is volume 1, and this is the newest volume 2. So many of you have already gotten the second book, so I really appreciate it. It's only been out for a week now, and it was just like flying out of here for the first couple of days, so I really appreciate that. There's also a place on the website at breakingowcp.com where you can buy the 2-book bundle, where the second book is basically half price.
Yep.
So that you can get them both. For those of you that don't have the first book already, you can go ahead and just get them both at the same time. They're cheap, shipping is free, and they're super helpful. Everyone that's got it has given really good feedback. They're not written like novels. They're easy to read. Most people say they read them in an evening, as fast as an hour. I hear that all the time. And that was the point. The idea is to add, or to take something that's extremely complicated and make it easy to understand. So these books do that. Tonight we're going to talk about supervisors, and what you're going to find is that both books have a chapter for supervisors. Tonight I'm going to focus in on what I said about supervisors in the second book, because I already did a Wednesday night chats about supervisors regarding the first book. So it's not, I don't want to give it away, because I do want you to get the book, because there's so much more in it than just, the supervisor chapter. But for those of you that want to follow along, I'm going to be looking at chapter 8 tonight. Why are these books so important? And what can you do to help supervisors help you? Well, if you get the books, you're also going to have rules, laws, and regulations that supervisors don't know about, but they have to follow. Their ignorance of the law or the rules or the regulations don't make them any less liable for them. Like they're so responsible for knowing them, or at least following them.
Yeah.
So what you can do by having the books, or just by watching us, right? I mean, coming here every week and you just get an hour at a time, is you can show the actual rules, laws, and regulations to your supervisor, and that will help them help you, because most people will not willingly break the law, will not willingly do things that can get themselves in trouble with their supervisors or with another third-party agency. So if you have the information, you're better off. So we're going to be using Volume 2 tonight to look at Chapter 8, starting on page 105 for supervisors.
And those of you that don't know and you're wondering what book he's talking about, so where are the two books? So Chris wrote a volume 1 and a volume 2 book to help you guys even more understand and get educated. So I'm going to share the link in a few minutes. I'm still continuing to share this video. So he wrote it to help you guys in case you are in the office and you get injured and you don't know. Open the book, find it. So it's www.breakingowcp.com. Again, you can buy one book, volume 1, or you can buy volume 2, or you can get the bundle. So that's the book that we're talking about. If you guys can give me 1 minute more, let me share, and then I'll start answering all your questions. I know you guys have a lot of questions coming in.
Yeah, so she'll answer your questions. I'm going to give you some talking points, and it'll obviously bring up more questions for you. But by the end of this broadcast tonight, I want you to know that there are things supervisors are going to do wrong, usually on accident, but sometimes on purpose. And I'm going to tell you how you can fix it, and just by following the rules in this book. So go ahead and I'm going to start now. Go ahead and hit the follow button again. Please just follow this page, like this page, and share this page. It's 3 simple steps. Just click the buttons. If it takes you off of this video, come right back. You'll be live again with me. You won't miss anything. In fact, I'll wait a second, and I'll let all of you take a chance to hit like, follow, and share. In case you leave the page, you'll come right back. So I'm going to wait.
Yeah, share, guys. Remember, you're going to win a $200 gift card of your choice. And so you guys understand, the more you share, the more friends you guys are helping, the more coworkers you're helping. There's a lot of supervisors that we personally know that are in the supervisor position that are not bad.
Yeah, they're trying to do a great job.
There are good supervisors, there are bad supervisors, and we hear it all the time. It's more bad than good. But remember, not all are the same.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I come from management. I have a management degree, a management background. And in my first book, I wrote to managers with that background in mind. What would I do if I were your supervisor? How would I want to treat you? How would I want you to feel? Hopefully loved is the answer, because that's the way I do management. I hope my employees for our company feel loved. I think about it all the time. I want them to feel loved the way you should feel loved at your workplace, regardless of which agency. But usually you don't. This second book, the supervisor chapter is called How to Become a Hero with OWCP. Supervisors tend to become villains. They are almost just natural villains. If there were a movie, they would be the bad guys. And that's too bad. It shouldn't have to be that way. What I've said through the 2 books, and I say this to anybody, is that the best way to have success with an OWCP claim is for the supervisor to do their job and get the heck out of the way. When they start getting in the way, then it causes problems for you getting back to work. Now, their end goal should be to have you back at work safely. But what they want to do is have you back to work now, regardless of your condition, or they want to fire you. As you all know, or you should know, once your OWCP claim is accepted, they can't fire you. Not for being hurt. There are a number of things you could still do that would be silly. But if you don't break those rules, they can't fire you. So, number one, you need an accepted claim, but how do you get there? So the first section of this chapter, I tell supervisors, they need to know the rules. Well, they don't generally know the rules, so that's what you have to do. You have to take responsibility for what happens to you. When you get hurt, if you don't know the rules, you're screwed. And that's because the supervisors, whether they know it or not, are probably not going to say they do. And they're not going to act with your best intentions in mind. But if you know the rules yourself, you can tell the rules to the supervisors.
Yeah, so if any of you that are supervisors that are on here, it's okay, you don't have to tell us your supervisors, but if any of you that has a supervisor that feels they still need some more education and they're learning, because we know that supervisors get pulled from all different sorts of jobs, and it's okay. But send them a text, share this on your page, and tell them to tune in so they can learn something. So, again, they can help you with your injuries.
Yeah, the next section on this, I tell supervisors, no threats or retaliation. You all know this. You get hurt, or you know someone else who got hurt, and next thing you know, there's rumors at least, probably started by management, that they're going to be fired, or management makes attempts to fire them, and then you have to go to your union leadership and have that overturned. What I tell supervisors is don't do that. The best thing that can happen to your employees when they get hurt is to immediately go and get better. Well, the only way they can immediately go and get better is if they feel comfortable talking to you and reporting their injuries. So if they don't feel comfortable reporting an injury, then we're going to have an instant delay in the recovery. Because they may recover on their own, but they'll recover a lot faster with medical attention. But they can't get the medical attention they need if they can't report their injuries. So, and threatening to retaliate against somebody is against the law. OSHA talks about it. It's in the Code of Federal Regulations. It's in the U.S. Code. For those of you that have the first book, there's a rule on rules, laws, and or a chapter on rules, laws, and regulations, and these are all in there. But supervisors, it is against the law to retaliate or threaten someone who reported a work injury, because it's their right, according to OSHA, and according to the U.S. Code and Code of Federal Regulations, it's their right to report work injuries. So threatening people just delays the process, and it ends up getting you in trouble. Because what happens is someone will find us, they'll tell us they've been threatened, and we'll tell them what to do. Well, number one, go to your union and file a grievance. Some unions don't want me to say that, but I'm going to keep saying it. I almost wore my file a grievance shirt tonight. So, but in the spirit of it, just know I'm thinking file a grievance. And saying it out loud. But I would also tell you to contact OSHA, file an EEO claim. I mean, I would tell you to do all the things you can do. Labor charges, whatever it takes to stop those supervisors from doing that to you and from doing it to someone else in the future. So if you're management, just don't put yourself in that position, because your employees are going to find me, and I'm going to tell them how to hurt you for trying to hurt them. So, and Paul, I see you. We'll be happy to help you. What questions do we have? I've got other sections, but
Okay, so those of you that were asking, give me just 1 second. Okay, I am now, right down there, I've pinned where you can buy the book, and if you guys do have the book, if you got the other book, is this the second book you're going out of? If you have received your second book, you can follow along. Okay.
Hold on. I can see on my screen that you put a space in between breaking and OWCP. You need to fix that, because people are going to want to click on that. That's not going to work.
That's just how it comes out. It is one thing.
So that you're sure there's no space.
Yeah, there is no space. That's how it came out.
So that's breakingowcp.com. There's no spaces, no hyphens, no dashes, nothing. It's breakingowcp.com.
Yeah, Kim Davis even posted it. Dale Watts, where do we get the books from? Right here.
Yeah.
This website right down here. And Chris is wearing the t-shirt. It just put www.breakingowcp. But that's where you guys can find the book.
Yeah, I don't have it at Barnes & Noble or Amazon or any of the other normal places that people buy books. For a lot of reasons. Mostly because I like to control what's going on. I don't want any markups, any of that stuff. So it's only can be found at breakingowcp.com.
Thank you guys for all sharing. We really appreciate it. Dawn, you said they try to push you to work outside of your restrictions. We hear everything that you guys are going to be telling us, we've heard in the last 5 years. We've heard it all.
Yeah, guess what?
So,
one of the sections coming up says work with and follow medical restrictions. That's one of my things I'm telling supervisors, so we'll get to that. But you're 100% right all the way.
Lacey, you said, or they don't submit your light duty work hours for 2 pay periods. I still haven't been made whole. So things like that, when they're not submitting your stuff, I mean, unfortunately we can't call. Definitely go to your stewards, go to your union, tell them, file a grievance or something, but just, go to somebody that's higher up and let them help you with that. If
they're not paying you appropriately when you're hurt at work, there's probably an EEO claim you can file. So all you got to do is just go to eeoc.gov, and you can find the phone number and call and talk to someone whose job it is to counsel you on the situation and tell you if you have a valid complaint or not. If so, file it.
Ashley, you said, this is Ashley Cox, that's incorrect. I worked for Tinker Air Force Base, and they medically separate people all the time due to on-the-job injuries. I was separated back in April 2020 due to my accepted injuries. I'm now paid lost wages by DOL because of it.
Yeah, so I'm actually well aware of on some of these bases, these military.
We understand.
Yeah, I know that management there doesn't treat you well.
Yeah.
In fact, the claims acceptance rate for someone who works on a base is something like 1 out of 35 people. It's awful. It's so terrible. And that's because you guys, number one, don't have the information, but two, you have supervisors that have just kind of gone wild, and nobody's doing anything about it because you haven't figured out what to do.
Yep.
If you have these books, you'll know exactly what to do. If you're a union president on one of these places, you probably know who we are. We probably have met some of you. We are always open and willing to doing like Zoom calls to help, personal meetings for your groups. We'd be more than happy to do it. We don't charge for that.
Yeah.
But we can help your specific group at a time that she'll schedule.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah.
Paul Veras said, I have a supervisor and manager that lied to DOL saying I was offered a job. What's the best remedy to get me paid?
Well, the best remedy to get you paid is to clock in. I know that sounds like duh, of course, but I always say the best way to get paid is to clock in. Otherwise, you're getting paid on an accepted claim only. You'll never be paid when your claim's not approved. So you can't be in if you're on a base, for example, the 34 out of 35 people that don't have a claim accepted. You have to get your claim accepted. That's what we do at a very high rate. But once it's accepted, you turn in your CA7s to get paid, but you need all this documentation to go behind it. The first book, I'd go extensively on what documentation you need. What I'm still seeing, even though the books go, out to a lot of people, over 1,000 people. And I talk about it here. I've taught this at conventions and union meetings, and still people turn their CA7s in without proper documentation. You're going to lose, okay? The only way you're going to get paid if you don't turn in documentation is if the claims examiner's feeling like in a particularly good mood.
Yeah.
And just wants to be, overly generous. Usually they won't. They're not going to pay you. So you got to attach all the proper documentation so you can get paid.
Ashley, she also said, per FICA, your employer has to offer in writing. So if they didn't do that, then they didn't offer.
Yeah, your job offer, obviously, it has to be in writing. And you need to take it back to your doctor and make sure that it follows the restrictions on the CA-17. I see some people who get job offers that, they're restricted at lifting 35 pounds, but, they get a job offer where they're going to be lifting 70. Well, that's not obviously okay.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
Dale Watts says, I need surgery on my hand. Will this book help me get started on work comp before I get my surgery?
Absolutely. Dale, I wrote this book for you. This book is written for people because I've said, if you wait until you need the information, it's too late already. So it's definitely for people who haven't been hurt yet or who have something really new going on. But yeah, I talk about in the combination of these two books exactly what you can do to get your claim approved and to get your surgery approved. And if you don't know how to do those things, then you're going to be one of the tens of thousands of people every year that just think this is an awful system that cannot be beaten. And you're beaten down by the system. But for people that are with us, and you can ask around, and many of them are on here and they're watching, they'll probably tell you that if you follow these rules and you follow the systems that we teach, your life is a lot easier. Definitely.
Ashley Cox, she says, I'm on our executive board at AFGE Local 916. Well,
Hey.
This is so good to have you on, Ashley.
You're perfect for this.
Yeah, if you would like us to do a Zoom or Skype or come in person when things go back to normal, please message us. We'd love to come.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of training for AFGE. We're, in my opinion, I think we're pretty close friends with Mr. Kelly, your national president.
Yes.
And he trusts us, and he didn't have any reason to in the beginning, but I think we earned it.
Yeah, we earned his trust.
And
we
we worked with AFGE locals in other areas. Specifically,
Alabama,
it comes to mind Alabama. We
Florida.
have really great friends there.
Yeah, we love
Florida.
you guys.
We'd be thrilled to help you. We love working with the AFGE. They're such a grateful, friendly union. They're perfect to work with.
So I'm going to read just two more messages, and then hold your messages, your questions, and then at the end and in between, we'll go ahead once he says if there's any messages. Juanita King, you said, good evening. My union did not help me at all file a grievance for failure to furnish me a CA-16 in a timely fashion, and my postmaster was at the hospital while being treated.
Well, the postmaster can be there. You don't have to let the postmaster in the room with you, but that I'm almost scared to ask what union you're with, but what union you're with, I'm going to ask anyways. There's a chapter in here for the stewards as well. Union stewards have a tough job. Okay, there's a few of them and a lot of you, and a very few of them and a great huge number of you. And so it's hard to be able to help everybody at all times, but some of them are, their jobs are made harder by them being told not to help you. That doesn't go for every union. I'm not going to single anyone out, but you know who you are. And so what I did in this book is I said, okay, whether you've been told not to get involved or not, you're involved. Okay, you're in this. People are looking to you for help. So I wrote a chapter for the stewards on what they can do to help you. If you're a steward on here, I hope you'll get this. I hope you'll get them both. You need it. You've got to be able to help your people. The subtitle to this second book is called You Are Not Alone. You Are Not Alone. And, that's a subtitle from my heart. Because if nobody else is with you, we are.
Yes.
And I'm always with you. No matter what, I'm with you. I do this from the time I wake up every day to the time I go to bed. And sometimes I dream about it, and I always wake up thinking, what's the first thing I'm going to do for you today? So one of the things I did was write something for the stewards. I hope you'll all take a look at this and help, and don't let other people be alone.
So, Linda, you said you work for UPS, you injured your shoulder, and made a report with the office, and even went to the clinic immediately and turned my paperwork in to my supervisor. She never filed my paperwork, and I don't have a comp case. Yikes.
So never filing your paperwork. You need to contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA. You have the right to report a work injury, and there's a law that says, and by the way, the USPS actually posts this law on their website at about.usps.com or gov, or I don't know. But it says this: any person, this is not going to be word for word quote, okay, but any person that's in the line of getting a work injury filed, if they prevent you from filing your work injury, they can be fined or imprisoned.
That's in the book, guys.
Who the heck would want to go to jail for not allowing you to report an injury? That's just ridiculous. And here, like in the second book, I say, look, you are preventing people from getting better and getting back to work. You all know the federal workforce, I've done workers' comp at various levels, state comp, federal comp, for 26 years. And nobody wants to get back to work more than the federal employee. So they want to go back to work. But when you're hurt and you can't lift 70 pounds, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
When you can't walk from here to there, how are you going to walk 10 miles on your route? So you guys want to get back to work, but when supervisors don't allow you to report your injury or file it, they're preventing you from getting back to work, which prevents you from making it to retirement, which will eventually cause you to have to go on disability, be evicted from your house, you can't pay your bills. It's ridiculous. And all of this because they wouldn't let you report an injury. If you can't tell, I'm a little fired up about that.
He's about to take somebody behind the woodshed.
This is the woodshed edition of Wednesday Night Chats.
Julie Van Horn, thank you so much for, what was the word? I know you requested friend request, and I love it. Julie says, being a new AFGE local president, if your union hasn't helped in the past, please reach out to your union again. We change elected officials and stewards all the time. She's absolutely right. So maybe somebody was doing right, the new person may be doing wrong or may not know.
Vice versa.
So help them. This is why we're doing this. We want you to get educated to help them help you.
Yeah, so I have this one guy, those of you that know me know I've got this one heckler. And I don't know what his deal is, but he's so angry at me because I wrote these books for you. And he seems to be an ex-federal employee, but he's just furiously pissed. Like, he went on some obscure radio program that like 5 people listened to last year. And
yeah, that's right.
And was like angry at this guy who wrote you books. I don't know why he's so mad about it, but those of you that have the book, you understand the value. And if you don't have it, when you get it, you're going to think, gosh, they never trained me on that. And this is a lot more simple than I thought it was. Well, yeah, because I wrote the book to be easy for you. Anyways, if you meet my heckler, tell him that I'm an okay guy and I have good intentions.
Okay, so let's get into more in depth about how these management can help, how you can help them help you.
So the next thing I said in this chapter in the second book to supervisors is offer the CA-16. What happens is you often don't know that the CA-16 even exists, and if you've heard of it, you don't know what it does. The supervisor should know, and even if they do, they're not offering it to you. But you've got to go there with the rules that tell the supervisor they have 4 hours to give it to you. And because you need to report your injury today if you got hurt today. And then that satisfies a 7-day timeline to get a CA-16. But what that 16 does, it pays all your medical bills, MRI bills, physical therapy, surgery, whatever, for the first 60 days, even if your claim's not approved, and it won't be approved in the first 60 days.
Okay.
So, hold on. So, get a CA-16 so that you don't start right out of the gate trying to make medical decisions based on finances.
Just so you guys are aware, because somebody just let me know, please, we don't come on here and discuss politics. So please don't come on here and please don't bash any of the presidents. Don't bash your union. Don't bash what's going on at work. We're just here to answer your questions. And please leave the politics out of here because we don't do any of that.
Now, one day I'm going to start a politics show, but that day's not today. And if anybody's going to do any bashing, I assure you I'll get it done. So don't feel like you need to. Look, I know, and one thing I want to say is those of you that have complaints, I know what your complaints are. I've heard them all, and I feel for you, and that's why I do what I do. So when nobody else will help, and you want to complain that nobody will help you, just understand we still will. You can always get help from us.
Yeah. This book, what was your name, Lisa? The book does work for anybody that's in the NRLCA.
Oh, yeah,
APW,
absolutely.
mail handlers, roll carriers.
That's NRLCA.
City
carriers.
City carriers. So, yeah, the book is for all agencies, all unions.
All crafts, all federal employees.
So, yeah, this is what the book is about. So, don't think that we're on here just educating one group of agency. We're educating everyone.
Yeah, so if you're the woman who slipped at the elevator at the Social Security office, or you're the carrier who stepped in a hole delivering mail or was chased by a dog, or if you're a VA nurse who lifted a patient and hurt her back, this is for you. If you work for the TSA and there was a heavy bag and you picked it up and you felt a twinge in your shoulder, this is for you. This is for every agency. If you're in the IRS and you're making me pay my taxes and you get hurt doing that, this is for you. I resent that I have to pay those taxes to you, but I'm definitely still going to help you. But if you could help me out with those taxes, that'd be really something.
Keep going.
So I was talking about the CA-16. The first thing that happens on a new injury is you don't get a CA-16. And so your claim's not accepted. The doctor doesn't really like OWCP because they don't understand how to use it and how to make it work for them. And so they make you give your health insurance card, and you start paying copays and deductibles and co-insurance. And so we don't want you making health decisions based on money. You get a CA-16. So I tell supervisors, stop doing this to your people. Them getting a CA-16 is the fastest way to get them back. What if they get better in the first 60 days while their bills are being paid? Then you get them back fast. And so supervisors, it's in your interest to get your people back fast, get them productive, active again at work. So don't deny a CA-16. It's the best way to get someone back to work, and they want to get back. But when you don't give them a 16, you're just screwing around with them, and you're just being a jerk, and other things that make you have to go back to the woodshed. And somebody's going to take you back there one day. I'm doing it verbally right now.
Oops.
No, I don't condone violence. Don't take anybody behind it. Look, if
We
you see
have a woodshed here.
if you see a woodshed, stay away from it. Don't go back there with anybody. I'm kidding, okay? No violence, people. None. Zero violence. It won't help, I promise.
And don't forget, we hear this all the time from you guys telling us management said and supervisor said. It is 3 years you have to file your injury.
3 days?
3 years.
3 weeks?
3 days. Oh my God.
Got her.
3 years. Oh! 3
You have 3 years. You can report an injury in 3 years from the date it happened on a CA1, and you can report it within 3 years of the date you knew it was work-related on a CA2.
Yeah, because we had one person was asking for help, and we gave it to them, and they said, nope, my supervisor said I had 7 days. And I said, no, you have 3 years. And she said, well, I'm just going to listen to my union. That's fine.
Yeah, so it was not a supervisor, it was a union rep.
Union rep,
And
yeah.
the union rep said, it may have been a president, I don't know. We don't know who they are. I'd love the opportunity to educate them.
But it's 3 years.
But they said that, no, 3 years is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we're not right.
And they said we didn't know what we're talking
So
about.
you'll find that in here in the rules, laws, and regulations in the first book. But that 3-year thing is so important because what if you didn't know about this till now, and now you have a chance to get your claim accepted, to get your money back, to get your time back, and to finally get better. So that's what the 3-year window is for. It's very, very That's a wide open window.
Yeah.
I recommend you jump through it. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not 3 years. It's 3 years.
How many of you got some sort of injury during the holidays? And I'm sure you're still dealing with it even till now, because all we hear is the post office is still backed up from the holidays and probably still backed up from quarantine because everybody was shopping on Amazon. So it's 3 years, but we always tell you to file now. Just if you don't want to go to the doctor yet, at least get it filed.
So she mentions post office a lot. That's because more than half of federal employees are postal employees. And during the Christmas holidays or holiday season, obviously the post office is working overtime. There's a lot more opportunity for getting hurt. But some of you still are like, okay, let me just wait till all my overtime's over to report my injury. Okay, so those of you that did that, if you waited more than 7 days, you lost the opportunity for a CA-16. And if you waited more than 30 days, you lost the opportunity for continuation of pay. So your ability to have your bills paid or to get paid to be off is severely hampered if you waited to report your injury. It's still not the end of the world, but you still need to report because you have 3 years to do it. But you're losing valuable benefits that are going to prevent you from getting the help you need because you waited. Don't wait, okay? Report. Whether you go off of work or not, it's irrelevant. Report your injury. File the paperwork.
Yeah, give thumbs up. Those of you that work in the VA that got injured during the holidays and all our USPS people, let's see some likes. And
even TSA, there's a lot more air travel during the holidays.
Yeah, so
that's
see.
And that's not us saying, hey, come to our office. Go wherever you want. I mean, if you like to win, come to our offices because we just win. But go where you want to go.
Yeah.
But definitely report your injury and file the paperwork right away. Don't lose your benefits.
Yep.
So the next thing in here to supervisors is what I said earlier, work with and follow medical restrictions. One more area. If the supervisor will do that, you get back to work faster. If they allow you to come back to work with restrictions, here's what it does for you. You get to clock in. And you don't have to jump through hoops with documentation and CA-7s to get paid. But for them, if they keep you off of work, then you don't have an opportunity to go and sort of test it out and see how it's feeling. And some people, the longer they're off of work, the longer they want to be off of work. It becomes easy to sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Supervisors need to get you back. They need to let you come back with the restrictions your doctor recommends on the CA-17. And too many times, especially for the rural craft, you guys get told all the time that, well, we don't have anything for you. Well, the supervisor is going to send you home, and that's how you're getting paid. And so that supervisor needs to realize that the biggest cost in OWCP is the cost of you getting paid while you're not at work. That's another problem. Like, if I'm a postmaster, I'm never, ever recommending to my supervisors to keep you off of work because you're getting paid to sit home.
Yep.
I'd rather let you come to work and answer phones. I don't know what you do, okay? But like the best thing a supervisor can do is follow your restrictions and let you go to work. What are we looking at?
Just Teresa Renfro, you said, I took my CA-17 from Dr. Kammerman today and my letter from my surgeon, which has me very limited after carpal tunnel surgery, and I'm a roll carrier. My claim isn't accepted yet because I just started working with Andrew on my case a couple weeks ago. But my postmaster said he didn't have anything to give me for an MJO. I don't know what that is.
Modified job offer.
And to let him know in 4 weeks if I could return to full duty, and he said, hope to see me back soon. So my question is, if they don't offer a modified job duty, if my claim is accepted, will I get paid for being off of work?
Yes. When your claim's accepted.
Wait, whoa.
If they don't let you go to work, you'll get paid on a CA-7.
By the way, Andrew and everyone in Dunedin are amazing. I flew from Kentucky. You flew from Kentucky? You should have called us. I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, and we're working on getting an office in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So just so you know. The next section in here for the supervisors, and you're all going to love this one, is never gossip or disclose private health information. It makes me nuts. I'll hear people telling stories of supervisors talking about you on the workroom floor or discussing your CA-17 with someone else. Nothing is going to cause more problems than your supervisors violating your privacy. And so I tell them, cut it out. You're just causing more problems in the office. Yeah. And as an employee, you have enough problems as it is. Your job's hard. Your supervisor's out to get you, or so it seems. And you just want to get better without without other people gossiping about you. And the supervisors should never do it. So that's in here because we know they do.
And even all of you, if you have a coworker that's injured, don't talk about their injury out on the floor.
It's nobody's business.
It's no one's business.
I mean, when it's you definitely don't want it, so I recommend don't do that to someone else.
Penny said, what is a timeline with filing OSHA from date of injury?
Yeah, I think that's 30 days, but you'll have to double check me, but I think you have a 30-day deadline to file complaints. There's a deadline for EEOs and for OSHA, and I think it's 30 days. But if I'm wrong, someone will correct me, and I'll accept it.
Aw, Crystal said, thank you for your time you have put into the book. The information I've learned from you guys has helped myself and many others with their claims. You guys are truly awesome.
Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
You're so sweet, Crystal.
I really like nice feedback. Thank you. So the next thing in here to supervisors is fill out the forms and don't miss deadlines. It's like somebody said earlier, the supervisor doesn't want to give me my CA1, my CA2. I said they won't give you your CA16. So I'm telling you, the supervisors, fill out the forms. Don't delay someone getting better by not filling out forms, because that's all you're really doing. You're delaying it. And those people are going to find us, and we're going to tell them how to hurt you. Not physically. We don't like violence. But, they have a right to fight back. You don't have to get pushed around and be bullied. And so I want to teach you how not to get bullied. That's what these books do. But supervisors, if they'll just fill your forms out and don't miss your deadlines, you're going to be a lot happier. You're not going to be disgruntled at work, and you're not going to have bad feelings about management. You're not going to go to lunch and talk bad about your supervisors to your coworkers because they did the right job. And so I'm trying to encourage and help supervisors do the right job.
Yeah.
And one of the things they have to do is fill your forms out and don't miss deadlines. Don't screw around and say, I don't have to fill it out. I don't want to fill it out. I don't think it's a real work injury. You don't think anything, okay? You don't have a medical license. We don't really care what you think. Fill out the form. So if they'll do their one job when it comes to OWCP and fill out forms, your life is easier, and that's what they should be doing.
Yeah, and if at any time they tell you they don't have the form, we have the app that you can download and go to forms and download any of the forms that you want. And on top of that, sit with them and fill the form. Don't fill it out at home. Don't have them fill it out without you there.
Yeah.
Because Chris always says you never know if they try to change something, because we've had somebody call us and said she wasn't getting any of her papers from DOL because the supervisor changed it and put the post office address.
That's our home mailing address.
So, and it happened to somebody from the VA as well. So you guys have to be very particular. Sit there with them and get all the forms.
Well, and the other reason why, maybe even more important, is that you need to get copies of everything.
Yes, you do.
The law says that you have a right to copies of everything, and they tell supervisors to give you copies of everything.
Yeah.
And supervisors often don't want to give you copies of everything or anything because they don't think they have to, or they think you don't know that they have to. So if you have the chapter on rules, laws, and regulations in book 1, you'll be able to say, yeah, but this says you have to give me copies of everything, so I'll be waiting here for it. The next thing that I tell supervisors in this one, and you'll love it, is tell the truth. I mean, what a concept, right? Like, let's be honest. She'll tell you, nothing bothers me more than something that's just a little bit not true. Mm-hmm. I like everything to be all the way true. Like, if you're not sure about something, don't act like you are. Don't tell me an obvious false. Don't say something to me that's a lie. I hate it. I can't stand it. And so what supervisors do is they sometimes don't tell the truth. And so I have big, bold words, like, check this out. See the big, bold words there? Because I mean it. Making knowingly false statements in connection with an OWCP injury claim can lead to fines, imprisonment, or both. Knowingly false statements. So supervisors, tell the truth. Because not doing so can lead to fines, imprisonment, or both. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And, if you have the rules, you can tell supervisors when they write something that's not true on their on your CA1 or your CA2. You could say, look, probably you didn't mean to write that. You probably didn't mean to write something that wasn't true. But did you know that if you knowingly make a false statement, you could go to jail? This is what actually happened. Don't you understand this is what really happened? You want to change that. You have an opportunity to help yourself by helping your supervisors stay out of trouble. So that was the last section in the book on supervisors. I didn't obviously read it word for word because I want you to.
If they don't believe you that they can go to have jail time, prison time,
they can search it.
They can look it up. It's true because it's in the rules of regulation, and we put it all in the book. So if they say that it's not true, go to Google and look it up. Go on the book and show it to them.
So chapter 16, page 121 of the first book. Let me go to it because this is really interesting. It's shocking to me that a supervisor will still do this.
And we've heard. We know a lot of presidents nationwide that have told us who's gotten, well, let's just say, banned from being a postal worker or a federal worker as far as TSA or VA. So we hear it all, and we tell them these people can go to jail if they don't get their stuff together.
So in the first book, check this out. I wrote it. I wrote it. I wrote this down. Is what I meant.
Did you write the book?
Obviously, I wrote the book. The Code of Federal Regulations, 20 CFR 10.16, says that a number, letter A says a number of statutory provisions, a number of statutory provisions, make it a crime to file a false or fraudulent claim or statement with the government in connection with a claim under FECA, or to wrongfully impede a FECA claim. So it says it is a crime to file a false or fraudulent claim or statement with the government in connection with a claim under FECA. It's a crime.
Yes, it is.
A crime. So I think you should let people know that. You should just let them know that, hey, did you know that's a crime?
What do people do when supervisors refuse to file their paperwork?
Contact OSHA. 1-800-321-OSHA is the first call I make. Maybe second. I'd probably call my union first and see if they're willing to help. But OSHA says you have a right to file a claim. So if your supervisor won't let you, refuses to give you the forms or any of that stuff, contact OSHA. 1-800-321-OSHA and say, look, I've been hurt. I'm trying to file this work injury claim. It's my 6th right on your list of 9 rights at OSHA. The right to, report a work injury. And they're not letting me do it. Do I have a violation? Is that a safety violation to prevent me from exercising my rights under OSHA? They're going to say yes every time.
Yeah. Let me start going through these questions because you guys are questioning away.
Let's go.
I'm a USPS worker and collapsed on the job and had a seizure. I was denied work comp twice. First, management not submitting enough information. Second, management stating I was off the clock during the time of my injury. When I personally know I didn't clock off because I have a written statement from coworkers stated, and still I had my work truck keys in my hand and mail in my hand when I had the seizure. My question is, my injury took place in 2016. Am I too late to file a claim? I'm still unfortunately on LWOP because of my injury.
You're getting paid? Okay, so I'm going to answer a little bit of that, but clarify for me. Are they paying you LWOP right now? Like when you're out of work, you're filing a CA7 LWOP and they're paying you? I want to know that answer. But with that said, you have a couple of issues here. So the seizure is going to be a problem. You have to be able to prove that the job caused it. And in my experience, sadly, I can tell you, so is that Sue that said no? So she's not getting paid?
No.
Okay. Sorry. I've got very sad experience with this, that a condition like a seizure, they're going to fight you like hell. They're going to say there's no way the job caused it.
Yep.
And I don't know. Look, I'm not a doctor. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. The point I'm going to make is they're going to fight like hell to show that it didn't cause, the job did not cause a seizure.
Yeah.
If you're able to get that accepted, more power to you. It's going to be awfully hard. I would work day and night to help you, but I wouldn't promise you anything. There's someone else on here right now watching that knows that story. But I will tell you that if in the course of falling down, if you hurt your shoulder, your back, or your neck, or your elbow, or your knee, that injury will be covered. But the seizure itself, I'd give you like a 3% chance to get that covered, and that's being generous. So I'm just telling you, don't be surprised if they don't approve the seizure. However, if you injured yourself in the fall, that should be covered. And that is a covered condition whether you're on the clock or not.
Don Woodruff, we help all federal employees, every single one, nationwide, even in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, no exceptions to that.
Matt Hayes says, how long does it
What's up,
take
Matt?
to get an ECAB appeal?
Well, they don't have, once you file your ECAB, which I don't like people doing that, but sometimes there's a reason for it. They're going to take their sweet time. You're just going to have to call your claims examiner all the time because they're probably backed up. They're probably very backed up all the time. There's very few of them and 2.8 million of you. So I would just keep calling the claims examiner, but they're not going to get in any hurry, and I'm not certain that there's any rules that say they have to. Now, there are rules on when you can file an ECAB. and how much time you have from a denial to file an ECAB, but I don't think they have any rules in writing on how long they have to take to respond to it.
Tuesday Woods said on 3/20 last year, stepped on screws, paid for 30 days, closed case on 10/6/20, denied medical evidence condition is related to the established work-related events as required for coverage. Filed an appeal in October 2020, still not being paid, using Blue Cross Blue Shield now. Eek.
Yeah, welcome to the lives and world of everyone else on here that's been hurt. We're happy to help you, though. Give us a call at 877-787-OWCP, which is 6927, and somebody on our side will be happy to help you.
Kelly Jensen said, so I fell on Sunday on unsalted ice in the work parking lot. I go into work, punch in, tell the supervisor while in tears because of the pain. He starts paperwork so I can take it with me, but halfway through, the manager called him and told him I don't qualify for work comp because I was not on the clock at the time of injury.
Bullshit. Sorry. So, no.
Did you cough?
I did.
What did you say?
I got it out. I'm
Okay.
good. So, here's the deal. You were on company grounds in a time reasonable prior to your shift starting so you can get inside and clock in, and that is covered. Get your CA1, file a grievance, contact OSHA, do everything it takes. But your clock on being able to get a CA16 is ticking. If this happens Sunday, you're halfway through your 7-day period. And after 7 days, you can't have a CA16. So go back to work tomorrow and refuse to accept no for an answer. That's a covered condition.
Everybody's laughing at you. He coughed. I don't know if you guys heard in between the cough, the words.
I might have used a word that you don't approve of, so I won't repeat it.
Teresa said, Matt Hayes, don't do an ECAB. It's useless. It took 8 months on a claim I did, and they still denied it due to my narrative report from my doctor.
Yeah, I recommend reconsiderations every time.
Everybody's
Because
laughing.
you can use new information and you have 12 months to file it. An ECAB, man, that's a slippery slope. I had somebody once, I told this a week or two ago, that was just heckling me on ECABs. And I said, look, it's, yeah, I could help you file an ECAB, but it'd be better to just win, right? So we just win.
Lily said, occupational injury with an approved claim, can I still file a schedule award?
Absolutely. Yeah. And thanks for asking that question. So I know I wrote about schedule awards in the first book. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to show you something. Schedule awards. Chapter 10 of the second book. I'm going to show you something that you've never seen before, and nobody has ever seen it before. Prior, it did not exist.
In the middle of that.
No, there's no middle. Check it out. So see this chart here, right there? That'll be like the number one reason you get this book. I
help you
made
with your schedule
a
award.
worksheet so you can calculate your own award. People are like, how much am I going to get? And nobody knew the answer. And nobody ever thought to make it easy for you, to make it easy for you to know your own schedule award.
He did.
I did. Anybody now, if you know the inputs, can get your own schedule award and figure it out. And yes, you can still get a schedule award.
Lacey Steele said, my accident happened on Thanksgiving delivering a heavy package to a customer. I slipped on algae-covered walkway at a customer's house. It was
Yeah.
raining.
That
The
was
joys
slick.
of being an RCA.
Yeah, that was slick. Yeah. I hope you filed and reported. But if you didn't, it's not too late. You should definitely do that.
Sue said, I was refused my restrictions. Remember you asked Sue? She said I was refused my restrictions.
Yeah.
Teresa says, why don't lawyers want to take USPS federal work cases? Well, number one, you have to have a federal attorney to help you.
Yeah, and it's not just USPS, okay? That's going to apply to every agency. All of you could ask that question about your agency. Why don't lawyers take my injury claims? And that's because there's no mechanism for lawyers to get paid. You have to pay them cash out of your own pocket to use them. And so there's not many of them because they've realized, I think, that you don't have the money to pay them out of your own pocket unless it's extreme, right? And so there's only maybe a handful of them in the country that are really any good at this. I'm not going to name them all, but I will tell you about Eric Blowers. He's our friend. He's your friend. He represents us for compliance to make sure that Federal Injury Centers is clean, squeaky clean at all times. But he also represents you. But one thing I love about him, on top of being a former federal agent himself, which means he kind of understands what you guys go through.
And he had a parent that worked for USPS.
Yeah. But he doesn't, like, he'll talk to you for free, and he'll advise you not to hire him if he doesn't think you should.
Yeah.
He won't just take your money. And so we love him for that because we don't ever take your money. So we want a lawyer on our side that is kind of thinks like us. Now, if he can help you, it won't be free, and that's not his fault. The government doesn't allow him to collect from anybody but you.
Yeah.
But that's why there's so few of them. But if you just call any regular attorney out there, they're not going to know what's going on. They may take your money, but they're going to screw up the case.
Patricia Stevenson says, how are y'all?
Super. How are you?
How are y'all? Questions or protocol for OWCP to ask for CCOP? And if so, what's the purpose?
I'm a little confused by the question,
Okay.
but I do want to help you.
Patricia, if you can be
Give us a
a
call.
little bit more.
Or give us a call, send us a Facebook message or something, but I'm just a little confused by the question. I apologize for that.
Sue said, my supervisors discussed my health issues to my coworkers on the room floor and gossip about it. It really hurt me.
File a grievance. I know a union president here in Florida.
He doesn't take that.
Well, he doesn't take it, but he had not a gossiping situation, but a similar situation about some verbal things that happened on the workroom floor, and he wiped the ground with that supervisor. So talk to your union and see if they'll help you.
Lacey said, yep, and my postmaster discussed my case with my regular carrier in front of everyone on the floor. It was super embarrassing to hear about it from everyone.
Yeah, so you see, like, I wrote this book with a section on don't do that. And it's because it happens. Like, you're telling me it happens. I know. I hear it all the time.
Sandy said, if the postmaster gives you work and it is indifferent, it is in a different craft. The other craft can file a grievance and get you paid for work the PM had you do.
Yeah, the other crafts don't want you taking their jobs because they're trying to work them. But you do what you got to do. The surest way to get paid is to clock in. So, if they'll help you with that, that's great.
Sue said, my supervisor refused to give me my CA-16. She said I didn't need it, and I wish I knew what I know now. Oh my gosh. This is why we tell you, okay, I'm going to say this again, get all your people, all your coworkers, all federal employees to come on here so we can educate you that all of this stuff, they refuse to give it to you. That's not cool. Sorry, it just makes me so mad.
Yeah, look, the law says that when you have a CA1 injury, something that happens in a single shift, and you report your injury within 7 days, then the supervisor has 4 hours from the claimed injury to give you the CA-16. And it says the supervisor shall give it to you. It does not say the supervisor will give it to you if they think it's valid, or if they think you need it, or if it's an emergency, or if anything else. It says it's a CA1 reported within 7 days, and they have 4 hours to give it to you. That's the rule. There's nothing else in there. It says they shall give it to you.
Shall is in the Code of Federal Regulations.
Yeah.
That word.
And look.
And it's even on the CA-10.
That was in here.
Yeah.
And I've only talked about it 8 dozen times on Wednesday Night Chats. So those of you that are new here, welcome, by the way. Thanks, and like, follow, and share. But if you've been with us a while, and you've heard us talking, and you don't get a CA-16, I think you don't want one that bad, because for me, I know what it does.
Yeah.
And it prevents you from going,
using
into
your
debt
insurance.
and ended up bankrupt because you have a work injury that someone else should be paying for. So get the books, buy the bundle. Too many of you don't have the first book even. So get the bundle so you can get the first book at a half price and get the second book as well, and stop having these problems happen. The whole reason I wrote these books for you is so you don't have these problems anymore. So share it, get one for a friend, okay? Pass this information on. Share this page. Get more people to this page. Those of you that are watching, you're hearing like real life horror stories that are happening to people, and it's happening because they don't have this information. And my best efforts are only as good as your best ability to share.
Yep.
You've got to get more people involved with this page. It's free. You can come here. If you don't like what you're hearing, then leave.
Yeah.
Okay? But at least you know what's happening, and it happens every Wednesday night.
All the stewards on here, all of the district reps and the presidents, share this and tell your folks to get on here. It's free advice. And like Mr. Rich Ray said, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Chris always says, sometimes we have to teach our stupid advisors their job. If management don't comply, ask for a steward. He's absolutely
He's right. And if you're a steward and you know me, then you know that I've got a guide for you. And if you don't get the book, then you're not helping your members as good as you can. Okay, I've given you the tools so all of your members can get the help they need, whether they talk to me or you.
Candace, the app is, if you just go on your Google Play Store or your App Store, it's just Federal Injury Centers. You'll see, I don't have the logo.
Won't see it.
You'll see the logo, Federal
Oh, it's
Injury
right there
Centers.
on your shirt.
Oh, yeah. This one right here. That's going to be the logo. So once you get that, go ahead and get it. Click forms, and all of the forms that we have is on there. Also, if you don't have the app, you can go on federalinjurycenters.com. There's a button for forms. You can get the forms there. So these supervisors, when you guys are injured or they think that you're lying or not saying what they don't want to hear, everything is on there for you guys.
And there's also a CA-16 there. It's kind of old because it's almost impossible to find anymore, but I've got one there. And another thing on the Breaking OWCP website, it's breakingowcp.com. You don't just go there to get the book, although you need to. There's a tab called Free Downloads. And I've got 5 documents in there that I created. They're not official OWCP forms, but they address the problems that you have the most often. And one of them is a form for getting that CA-16. So the supervisor gets the rules in their face right there. And it also puts them on the clock because we write what time we ask for it. We ask, here's the date of injury. This is the date I requested it, which was in 7 days. And here's the time I requested it. You have 4 hours. You're on the clock.
Yeah.
You guys need to get this form. I made it for you, okay? Not for my own health. But this is what you got to do. And I know I'm getting a little bit harsh. I need to calm down. But this information's out here for you.
Yeah, like Linda said.
Don't get screwed by your supervisor anymore. You don't have to.
Linda, you said your steward is practically non-existent.
Well, we're not going to talk bad about your stewards.
No, we're not talking bad, but this is why. Tell them to come here. This is why they need to get educated.
They just don't. They don't have the information yet. But my experience, when a steward gets this information, it's like a steward on steroids. Okay, they become very powerful, and everybody can come to them for the right help, and that's what we're looking for.
Rebecca's always telling me to do videos and lessons on Doll's Kitchen. It's so funny.
Doll's Kitchen was good. It was hot tonight. I'm so full right now that I feel like I could fall asleep here talking to you.
Rebecca
Look
said,
at my eyes. My eyes actually look like I ate a heavy meal.
And he didn't. That was the funny part.
It was salmon with this
Tuscan salmon.
Look, you could put this salmon at like Olive Garden, and the chicken she made last night could go to Olive Garden. It's unbelievable. This girl can cook.
Rebecca said, when a person didn't get paid until their injury was approved, will her claim just get paid?
Yeah, once your injury is approved, that's when everything starts getting paid with the correct documentation. If you follow the right procedures, that's when you'll start getting paid.
She also said, or does she need to fill out a CA-7 to get all her money back?
Well, that's how you get paid.
You definitely do.
You have to go through the motions. You got to fill out the forms, attach the correct documentation, and so forth.
Oh, Teresa, you're coming back to Dunedin in February before Valentine's Day. Let us know, and we can come by the office and come see you guys, whoever's in the Dunedin office.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Ginger Austin said, evening. When will my paid order be available to download? Also, hard copy being mailed. Thank you. Okay,
Your paid order?
No, they're getting the paid the downloadable stuff.
Oh.
A lot of people are having issues with that.
So let me help you with this. So when you buy, there's a PDF download of my book. Some people don't want to wait for me to mail it, so they get the PDF version. So when you click to purchase the PDF download, you're not finished until you go at the last step after everything's done and you actually hit download. So you're not done just because you said I want the download. You have to go through one more step and get the download. If you purchase the download and you're having a hard time, just send us a message with your name and email address, and I'll make sure and I'll personally email you a PDF copy of the book. You're not going to go without it. I intend for you to have it. But some people struggle with how to get it. There's one final step that you have to click on to download. But if you can't do it, I'll definitely email you your book. Thanks for getting it.
Penny Haller said, does a CA-16 just disappear on eComp?
It doesn't disappear. I mean, a CA-16 is always in your record. So, like, if you request a copy of your written record, it'll be in there.
When you file your CA-7s, guys, there's 4 pieces of other papers that need to be on there.
You want me to actually tell
I can say it, but he needs to talk too.
So it's in the first book, okay? I only say which book it's in because people want to know.
So
if you want to know what's there, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
But you have to attach 4 things potentially, okay? If you have a CA-17, attach it to your 7. If you have you were at the doctor, attach copies of your appointments. Your appointment log signed by the doctor.
Yeah.
If your doctor's got you off of work, your doctor needs to fill out a CA-20 explaining, that's a CA-20 is a form the doctor fills out to explain your current situation. And then the last thing that's always missed is a doctor writing a disability narrative, which is just a short little report. It could be half a page long that explains why you're off of work. So the CA-17 says that you're off work. The CA-20 gives your status. A copy of the appointments just says where you're at when you're off of work, if you're at the doctor or therapy or whatever. But this narrative report explains why you're off of work. And if you attach all 4, they have to pay you once your claim is accepted.
So make sure,
Denied claims are not going to be paid.
You can start filling them out and keeping them.
Yeah, I recommend that actually, and I said that in the book. Don't wait until later to start filling stuff out. Start filling it out like on day 1, because otherwise it's going to be overwhelming and people will be like, forget it, I just won't get my money. But it's your money.
Yeah.
You need to get all of it.
Rebecca, you asked for mileage. So mileage, you can claim 100 miles round trip.
Yeah.
Let's just say the doctor's 101 miles.
Up to 100 miles.
You won't get that extra mile.
No,
It
if
has
the
to be
doctor's
at
101 miles, they won't get the first 100 either.
Oh, really?
I see it all the time. Like, there's nothing in the rules that says they can't, but when you're driving more than 50 miles one way and more than 50 miles to go home, that extra mile over or whatever, a lot of times is what they'll use to not pay you at all. They'll say, why don't you just find a doctor closer to home? Well, because there's not one. If there was one, I would have gone there.
Yeah.
There will be, because that's what we're doing. We're putting a doctor within range of every federal employee nationwide. Real quick, on the mileage, I wrote a chapter on this in one of the books. It's in the first book. There's a chapter for you to just go look at because it will help you on how to get paid for this stuff. It is somewhere in the book for sure.
Lily, I know we answered your question. You said occupational injury with an approved CA2 claim. Can I file for a schedule award?
Yeah. You can file for a schedule award when your doctor puts you at MMI, maximum medical improvement. When you have a diagnosis that warrants a schedule award, and you're at MMI, and your claim was accepted, you can definitely get a schedule award. The chapter is chapter 6, how to get your money back. Sounds good to me too.
Lori Moxley said, been trying since November 25th to get an MRI. My doctor is at a point of quitting, getting some much bad info on how to file for an MRI referral. COP ended January 5th. They kept me on it through the 15th, screwing up LWOP and workers' comp.
File some grievances. To get an MRI, your doctor just needs to write a prescription for the MRI and you take it to an imaging center. You may have to use your health insurance. I hate that for you. If you were getting your MRI in your first 2 weeks, your first 2 months, 60 days, and you had a CA-16, the 16 would actually cover your MRI. We work with MRI facilities in the towns where we have Federal Injury Center's offices, and the MRI facilities we work with do your imaging for free, and they wait until your claim's accepted. They understand that imaging will help get your claim accepted.
Yeah.
So once the claim's accepted, they file, and they file their bills with Department of Labor and get paid. So we explain to imaging centers how they can actually make more money by helping you by not charging you, because Department of Labor pays better than Blue Cross or whatever. So they're when they realize that, they're kind of happy to just wait on the money.
Teresa said, oh wow, I never known how to make a schedule award. I need the book. Thank you.
Yeah, both books have a chapter on schedule awards. They come at it from different angles. I'm sorry I didn't put them all in the first book, but honestly, in the second book, it wasn't until the second book that I realized that I could make that worksheet for you to help you, and nobody had that information prior to me dreaming it up, so I had to write a second chapter on it.
Lacey Steele said, I did file. They denied my claim, said I met 4 out of the 5 requirements, but that my doctor's notes are not a narrative and do not sufficiently support the causal relationship.
That's right. So every doctor that doesn't write a beautiful 5-page, greatly detailed, awesome narrative is getting your claim denied. If your doctor just sent in notes, like they call them soap notes, that's getting denied every single time. Your doctor's got to write a great beautiful, detailed narrative. That's how we get claims accepted. And that's how at Federal Injury Centers, like 1 out of 7 federal employees nationwide has an accepted claim. At Federal Injury Centers, 6.5 out of 7 have an accepted claim. That's because we write great narratives. We write beautiful reports that claims examiners almost can't say no to.
Marie Mitchell said, got my book today, excited, got an appointment in the Norwood office Monday. Just want everyone to know how grateful I am that a quick start to a second reconsideration.
That's really good. We're pulling for you.
Linda Doss said, oh my God, I can prick your brains on so many topics.
Hey, that's what I do, so I'd be happy to talk.
Patricia Stevens said, sorry guys, CCOP means second opinion, and just piggyback off one of the questions I heard about doing work in another craft. We actually have a pecking order to where if no work can be found in your management can actually find work in another craft for permanently injured workers.
Yeah, I hear that happens.
Karen said, hi, my name is Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi there.
I've been with the post office for 33 years. I've had 2 hip replacements when I filed work comp, denied. Then I got the second. This is all after Amazon. My Amazon route has not been adjusted. I am now bone on my right shoulder, scared to death to file. File! Oh my gosh,
I'd be scared
no.
not to.
Yeah.
You have to file. I mean, obviously you don't have to, but you know, how are you going to make it to retirement if you can't make it through your next shift? And if you file your injury, you can get help and make it through a whole lot of other shifts.
Yeah, Lori said, I was told the nearest contracted place to do my MRI is another state. What? Whoa.
Okay, so for
Yikes.
sure there's an MRI facility in your town, if not in the next town over. So just go find one, and if you have to use your health insurance,
yes,
do it.
and
Later
then
on, you
submit
can
it.
later on you can get reimbursed for the money you paid out of your pocket.
Yeah.
With an OWCP 915.
Don't forget, when you guys get an accepted claim, your prescriptions are also added on to that. You can get that for free if you have a claim number and an accepted claim.
Yeah.
Juanita King said, I see it is not just happening to me. Oh my goodness, I must speak to you for guidance. How cute.
Oh, I'd love to talk to you, Juanita.
Marie Mitchell said, forget to say the appointment I have that's in Norwood is actually back north where I grew up. I know it's far from me in South Carolina, but I'm making it in a mini vacation since I'm out of work and I'm getting the help I need. Wow.
You're going from South Carolina to Massachusetts.
Wow.
Well, we'll take good care of you.
Melissa Ross, I received my copy of your book. Oh, yay, Melissa.
They got there fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marie said, LOL, I guess evidently when I get approved, going to Norwood leaves me out on the mileage.
It will. So this is a personal decision. If you want to go find somebody closer to home, I wouldn't blame you. We don't hold anybody hostage. You should do what's best for you at all times.
Yeah.
But I tell people a lot of times, you know, it's more painful to have a denied claim than it is to not get paid for mileage. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you weigh it out. I think you figured it out. Accepted claim is pretty valuable.
Brittany, you said, is there a federal injury centers in Vermont? Not yet.
No, but we're in Massachusetts. That's the closest
That's
to
the
Vermont.
closest one, yeah.
Is Massachusetts in the Boston area.
Ruth Crandall said, can you get the mileage even if you go over 100 miles? Can you collect for 100 miles?
So the answer is you can collect, but they'll oftentimes try to deny you. What I would do is call the claims examiner in advance and ask for pre-approval to pay your 100 miles.
All right, so this is the last question before we end the night. Karen said, so been off work since August on OWCP periodic roll, check monthly. Now I get my 3rd epidural steroid shot tomorrow. If it isn't successful, they want me to have back surgery. Do I have to do that?
No. So you can refuse any treatment. And let's say that back surgery is the last thing, okay? And if you don't do that, or if it doesn't work, either way, you're at MMI. What'll happen is they'll just put you at MMI, maximum medical improvement, and say all the treatment that could have worked has been done, and we're finished. You're at MMI. And so that's what'll happen. But if you refuse back surgery and you don't ultimately get better, then there are things that happen next, like disability and stuff. I hope that doesn't happen.
So guys, that ends this week's Wednesday night chats talking about management.
And you guys did really great. These were super questions. I had a good time with this.
So don't forget to share, like, and follow. And those of you that came on in the middle, we're giving away a $200 gift card to
At the end of the month.
At the end of the month to your favorite place, or if you just want a $200 gift card, a Visa gift card, we could do that.
To whoever has the most shares for the month.
Share our posts that we do on Wednesday night chats. Share our lives. At the end of the month, we will go ahead and pick a share winner, and each month we're going to continue to do it if you guys continue to share.
And it's easy. All you have to do is hit the share button, and then share
done.
it. That's it. You did it.
Yeah.
And she's able to track it.
Yeah.
Which is, she's got some magical, mystical secret that I don't understand, but she knows how.
I got a secret. So next Wednesday, unfortunately, we won't be on because we will be traveling. No, we're not traveling Wednesday. We'll be on next week.
Yeah, we'll be on next week.
So next week, I don't know what the topic is going to be. If you guys have any topics, if we haven't gotten around to posting something by Sunday, message me and we'll choose a topic or two.
So don't jump off yet. Look, we're not finished. We're 15 minutes over, and we're happy to stay as long as it takes. But I need you to understand, we're going to be in Texas on what dates? What dates are we going to be in Texas?
Texas, next Thursday and Friday.
So we're going to be there. We'd love to see you and meet you. We're going to be in Las Vegas.
Next Monday and Tuesday.
We
The
are
following Monday and Tuesday.
We are planning on onboarding our new 3 locations in that area. And so for the few days we're going to be there, we would love to be able to meet some of you. So if you're in the Las Vegas area, please let us know. We'd like to meet up with you and say hello. It's always a real treat for us to be able to meet you in person. This is nice because I can talk to you, but I like it when you can talk back. So we'd like to meet you. So Dallas and Las Vegas coming up.
Carlos, you said, hi, thanks for what you're doing. What is the price of the book? It's $14.95 for one and $22 for volume 1 and volume 2.
Free shipping.
TT Norma said, I got the 2 books. Thanks for all the info. I've been trying to get my doctor to do my impairment rating. I'm MMI since May 2019.
Ouch.
Penny Holler said, I'm from Spokane. You will understand when you meet me. May we please meet?
I'd love to.
Juanita, thank you. I'm off on Tuesday. Looking forward to speaking with you. Teresa, thanks so much. Have an awesome week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, Rich, for sharing. Talk about how to get the books. See, now Sue didn't know about this until Rich Ray shared the page. Ron Jackson said, sorry for being late. Ron, where have you been?
Welcome back.
All right, guys. So my goal is to get to 25,000 followers by the end of 2021. I can only do that with your help.
So please do.
Please do. This way, every year, we're going to keep increasing it till we get all 2.8 million federal employees watching our page so we can help you, help your friends, help your supervisors, help management with all the information that they don't know.
And your friends that are coworkers.
And your friends that are coworkers.
Don't forget them.
Don't forget, even the people that are not federal employees, they know one federal employee. We say this every week. It's the mailman. So if you're
Or lady.
or mailman or mail lady or mail dog. So if you're just a Joe Schmo like us and are not a federal employee, somebody knows a federal employee. Nationwide, everyone knows. Whoa, he just left.
No, I'm still here.
Thank you guys. Oh, thank you so much for the likes and hearts all through the video. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. And here is our marketing dog, Gizmo.
So I want to introduce you all. I have 2 things to say.
Okay.
One is funny and one is serious, but I'm not sure which this one is. So I want to introduce you to the first ever 5 Good doggy. This dog is good. You've never seen, none of you have ever seen a 5 Good doggy before, but he won the prestigious award. I handed it out, and I'll probably never hand another one out again.
He's all chill back.
He's a 5 Good doggy. Now,
everybody's saying hi, Gizmo. Ron Jackson says hi, Gizmo. Gizmo, say hi to everybody.
Hi. Hello, Wolf Wolf. The other thing I want to tell everyone is I had a birthday. I had so many nice birthday wishes. It's overwhelming to feel the love, and I want you to know I love you too. And I really do. I love all of you very much. And I appreciate the love that you gave me for my birthday. That means a lot. I won't forget.
Danielle, you're on. So glad to see you. We miss you. We can't wait to come to Alabama to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
I had a Gizmo. Yours is handsome. Aw. We have one of our case managers, Kamini. She said we'd love to help. Give us a call, 877-787-OWCP. We have Kamini, Jennifer, and Emmy.
Thank you.
What else? What else? Everybody got the book. Where was it? Where did she go? Juanita King, you said each one reach one.
Each one reach. Oh.
I like that. I'm going to use that.
Can I steal that from you?
Juanita, can we steal that? That's cute. Each one share one. So everybody on here should share it. So if there's 71 or 72, and we had a couple thousand views tonight, just make sure you guys share.
And Danielle, we really love you.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you here.
I want a shirt to advertise federal injury centers. Okay, so I'm working on it to get shirts for you, for where you guys could order.
You know, our goal is not to have you spend a bunch of money on a bunch of stuff you may not need or want. You know, the book is important. You need it. And writing it wasn't like the easiest thing. Even
Maria, you said you do too. That everybody wants a t-shirt. We'll be coming out with t-shirts soon.
Now you can get Breaking OWCP t-shirts on
they want mine.
Okay, on the apparel tab. If you go to Breaking OWCP, there's a tab for apparel.
Everybody's saying I do too.
And it's a third-party company that ships them out. So if it takes a long time, don't be mad at me. I don't control that.
Juanita King said, happy belated Capricorn, brother.
That's right.
Aww.
Thank you, Juanita.
So thank you guys for watching tonight. Don't forget, if those of you that are hopping on late, hashtag replay. Don't forget to share. What is OWCP?
Oh, Linda. It's workers' comp for federal employees.
Oh, Danielle, you want both shirts? So OWCP is Office of Workers' Compensation Program.
That's right.
Cool. I'll get both. Again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to share to win your $200 gift card. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday. We are looking forward to seeing anybody in Texas that reaches out to me. And we are looking forward to visiting and seeing those of you in Las Vegas.
And if you want to have a good time in Las Vegas, I'm the guy you go with.
We will be at...
That's me all the way. You go with me.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Hilton Grand Hotel.
Hilton Grand Vacations.
Hilton Grand Vacations Hotel in Las Vegas on the Strip. So if anybody wants to come by on Monday, I will put all the information down on the post when we are there. We would love to meet you guys.
You can stay on the Las Vegas Strip for like $70 a night these days.
Yeah. The Bellagio was $80 a night.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Night.